This next clip I am going to show you doesn't make sense to me. So she finished her shopping, okay, and was walking out of the shop, and mentions how her shopping is basically at the side of wegmans. So she is going to drive the car there, to load the shopping in, okay. But if you look at the clock on the building, it says 11:50. So then she is in the car and saying it is 11:50, but if she has to put her shopping in, then it would not be still 11:50, since she was meant to be loading her van with the shopping. And notice how her car doesn't seem to have any shopping in it. So she is lying. Her shopping is getting delivered home. Okay, watch carefully the clock on the building, and what she says.
Okay, it ended up being 4 carts. Once everything was bagged, they're out the side door. I'm gonna drive around and load them in. All right, my interview was canceled, thankfully, because it was at 12 o'clock. And not canceled, postponed. And it is 11:50. I have to pick up Harley at 12 o'clock. I was gonna pick her up early, but I don't have to now. This is like down to the wire. I need to go back to grocery shopping on the weekends.
So I am sorry, but it does not make sense. She is saying it is 11:50, and she is driving to pick up Harley, yet when she was walking out, and before loading the shopping, it was already 11:50, so it makes no sense. She continues on chatting as if the shopping is in the van, by mentioning the cans rolling around on the floor, cause of the noise, things like that, but still, that could be something else, or she drove over some ramps. There is something wrong with the whole thing.
Always, the helping hands people always make my day. They're seriously like the nicest people. Very kind and helpful. I need to hand sanitize. Also need to eat breakfast, lunch, brunch. I meant to grab one of those sandwiches and eat it on the way home. Today is a new day. That's what I tell myself every day. Today is a new day, full of new opportunities and new chances. Every day. Start fresh. Don't let yesterday weigh down today. Move on, move up, keep going. Okay, let's go get Harley from school, see how her day was. And then I gotta unload all these groceries. 2 of the paper bags broke, 2 or 3. 3 of the paper bags broke. Just like completely, the bottom just gave out. I'm like, this is my natural consequence for not bringing my reusable bags. There are now canned goods all over my van. Did you hear that? Rolling around the van. It's my own fault. I even said to myself last night, don't forget the bags. I forgot the bags. We're home. Thankfully, I packed Harley's lunch this morning, so she can sit and chill out and eat her lunch while I bring in the groceries. Hot doggy. Okay, here's the receipt. It is a bit higher this week than normal because I got the steaks and I got the salmon on the planks. Yeah. I am going to.
Also looking at the receipt, it shows that Alicia paid for the shopping at 11:41 a.m. The clock behind her shows it is 10 to something, maybe 10 to 1 or 2 or whatever, which I am wondering if that is when her food got delivered at, if it was delivered, because her timing don't make sense to me.
Real quick, I gotta fuel up before I restock and do all of that, but thank you for coming grocery shopping with me. I'm making bagel breakfast sandwiches. I cooked the bacon while I did my hair and makeup this morning because that's all I ate. Okay, I'm going to save some running late. I'm gonna put some eggs in the oven. And get the bagels cooking. Toasting. I don't know. Cooking, toasting. So it's the same thing. I have a super busy day today. I feel like I say that every single day. A 7:45 a.m. appointment. Those days are definitely insane. And then 8.
So I'm just gonna hit it just like this, and you can even hit it again, just like that, even a third time. So now, as you can see, I have a solid crack in the egg. I'm going to place one thumb on the right side of the crack and one thumb on the left side of the crack. I'm going to bring it over the bowl and I'm going to pull my thumbs apart, just like that. And as you can see, I have cracked the egg. It is a really solid crack. There aren't any small fractures or small pieces that, are going to fall off. The key to cracking an egg properly is getting a really solid crack just like this. You don't want to crack it and you have all small fractures along the sides, because then some small pieces of egg might fall into the bowl.
10 o'clock appointment. On top of the usual, everything we have to do every day. What do we have tonight? Track. The kids started track and field, outdoor track and field yesterday.
Didn't you buy washing up liquid yesterday? Why don't you use it? Because there is nothing coming out of that bottle.
I should say the kids and Josh. Josh is the coach, so. And Josh started track. These ones say they're not expired, but I feel like they are. We're gonna give those to the chickens today.
When you buy too much bread, you can freeze them, and even you can toast it from frozen, or take it out the night before, up to yourself, but that is a loaf of bread gone to waste. Where is your bagel slicer gone? Wouldn't it be better than getting all bread under your nails?
It's Alicia with the Doherty Dozen, and today we are going to be making chicken fajitas in the crock pot for my family of 14. But first, coffee. Tastes better, but gotta do what you gotta do. These are food safe foil liners. This is a 22-quart crock pot from Amazon. And I don't know about you, but after making dinner and feeding dinner to 12 kids and taking them to all of their activities and sports and making sure they all shower and bathe and brush teeth, I don't feel like scrubbing a 22-quart crock pot. So I use these liners to simplify life. This is so easy, so easy. Jarred salsa, put that on the bottom. Diced tomatoes, and this recipe I believe is in my recipes playlist. I might have to check on that. Down on the bottom. I got her this book.
I don't think you should be leaving your kid alone with the scissors, Alicia. It is the same as if she is carrying a knife.
I thought it was like a recipe book, but it came with clay to like... That is... Who is that? I'm not sure who that is. Tell me if there's 4 bumps on the bottom, it's sweeter. I read this after I grocery shopped yesterday, so I didn't know that, but this one has 3.
This is blowing a lot of people's minds. All those peppers that you see in the produce section at your grocery store, they're all the same.
What do you mean?
There's no difference between a green, a yellow, an orange, or a red pepper. It's just
No.
different level. No, they don't.
Yes,
different,
yes, they do.
Close your eyes.
Green ones are
Different-
sweeter.
Different levels of ripeness. Green being the most ripe, and then that turns to yellow, and then to orange.
Green wouldn't be the most ripe. It would be
The least ripe.
ripe.
The least
Yeah.
ripe, yes. And finally red. That's what we're talking about. By the way, red pepper won't get more ripe after you buy it, like a banana or an avocado, because that only happens, the ripeness only happens on the vine.
So this is why red peppers are more expensive. It's not because they're like a more special type of pepper. It's because they take more time and more
That's a
TLC.
scam.
No. It takes more time for anyone who's growing these because they have to really take care of them while they're on the vine. The green they can pluck right away.
Right.
But the red, I mean, you have to really take care of them, so they cost more money.
Don't you just leave them? You just leave them. They just don't have to touch them. Just leave them, move on to the next
No, because
pepper.
the bugs can come or weather will come.
But you're
blow
paying
them
a
off my-
premium for sunlight.
They
taste good.
I'll taste
So
it.
I brought
like
up,
them all.
Did we pull up a picture of the aloha pepper? Because my question was, if a red pepper starts out as a green pepper, what is an aloha pepper?
I told you that was a made-up pepper, and I believe it's a made-up pepper. I think it was built in a lab.
No, I've eaten aloha pepper.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying they created it like a hybrid. It's a it's got
So it just grows.
It's trademarked.
You don't
You
think
don't
they
know
just
what
put
it is.
It's like
paper
those
strips on
apples
it
that taste
so
like
it
grapes.
Shades the sun?
I don't know.
You've never had a grapple or a grapple?
No,
Yeah,
but
no, it's a thing.
It's a pepper that's yellow with red striation,
Yeah.
so it looks a bit like a flower. Anyway,
right.
aloha peppers.
Mind's blown, Canada.
I'm gonna start.
But I thought that was a fun fact. My kids don't like... So normally this would shred up easier if I had cooked it all day like I had planned, but... Mix here.
She can't be real. This woman can't be real. This can't be happening. Do you know what? Even if you are joking, stop! Today!
So tired. I bet your tummy's hungry. You ate too much cookies. I bet you ate too much cookies.
Too much cookies. Well, I guess she may not eat her dinner now, will she?
Making sheep pancakes for breakfast. And sandwiches for lunch, except for James. He's going to have leftover salmon again.
Leftover salmon again. I believe this salmon is left over about the 3rd day now. Not sure if it is still safe to eat. Let's check it out.
Could what's inside your refrigerator make you sick?
Hi.
Yvonne Conde's invited food safety expert Donnie Yu into her home in Los Angeles.
Like, I'm a little nervous about you looking in my refrigerator, but I would love to know what we should do to be safer.
Right away, he spots trouble.
What's that on the top shelf?
Oh, so my son made a smoothie yesterday.
The container was left wide open.
It's more of a health concern. You definitely want to have this covered up with plastic wrap or put the original lid on here.
On to another health violation.
Oh,
Is it bad?
that was a mistake right there. Yeah. This has definitely gone bad. How long you had this for?
I don't know.
The turkey meat not only smells bad, it's slimy.
Do you notice
Yeah, it's slimy.
that slimy texture?
Yeah.
Those are toxins.
Turkey meat, he says, can generally be kept for up to 7 days. It's fewer days for fish.
Ooh, pretty strong. It's definitely a good idea to toss this out.
He says keep fish no longer than 3 or 4 days. Next, bottled goods.
This needs to be sealed completely.
all the way?
This is actually exposed.
Uh-oh, and that barbecue sauce is also expired by nearly a year.
Isn't the expiration date just kind of a suggestion? Do we really?
Doesn't
Doesn't it go a little bit longer?
It's
Maybe
a good
not
idea to follow the expiration dates. They put it there for a particular reason.
Finally, the freezer.
Whoa, look at that right there.
The open bag of frozen waffles will have to be tossed because it wasn't sealed and was exposed to possible contaminants. One last tip, foods that have been cooked and cooled should be reheated to at least 165 degrees.
It exceeds 165, so Yvonne, great job.
Okay, thanks. Yay, finally.
A couple vlogs posting today. Yes, I said a couple. We've been busy over here.
She doesn't wash the scissors again, and that dishcloth must smell as bad as Alicia's butthole. Excuse my language.
Josh, did you know that some people have never heard or seen sausage links? No, I'm being dead serious. I don't know if it's like the United States. Sausage links.
How do you know that?
So like in my comments, they're like, "What are sausage links?"
Everybody eats sausage.
Right, but breakfast stuff.
Unless you're a, unless you're a Muslim, you don't eat pork.
Anyways, I thought that was fascinating.
I don't know if she is lying here, because I am pretty sure that everyone knows or heard of sausages. Also, yes, Muslims don't eat pork, but they do eat sausages that are not pork. I don't eat them much, maybe once every couple of years, because it is basically bad meat. It is the waste meat, like the animal balls, and ass, and nose and eyes, everything blended, and spices added, to get rid of the bad taste and smell. Don't eat them.
I'm appalled that a sausage can have as little as 32% meat. The rest of it is mainly water and breadcrumbs, by the way. But more shocking still is what that 32% can be made up of.
When it says meat on a label for a product such as a sausage, it doesn't actually just mean lean meat. It means other things like fat, connective tissue. And connective tissue is things like skin, rind, gristle, tendon, sinew.
So over half the so-called meat content can be gristle and fat, and it's still allowed to be called meat on the label. It is safe and it is legal, but if I'm going to eat gristle and sinew, I want to know about it. And I think the current labelling system is misleading.
Charlie and Bodie will get like an entire plate of them just for themselves. Alright, so I am not making James a sandwich he's having left. We had chicken fajitas for dinner last night. I cooked them, so I didn't get them in as early as I wanted to. So I only cooked, what was it, 6 hours I think in total. Anyways, lesson learned, cook your chicken fajitas all day.
What you need to do is take it out of your freezer the night before and then drop it on that sheet pan, put it in the oven, and dinner's ready in under 30 minutes.
More tender. I mean, it was still good, but I definitely prefer it when it's cooked all day.
that what is happening isn't actually happening. These vaccines have a terrible safety profile. At this point in the pandemic, I'm not sure anyone should be taking them, and that's that is the honest truth. I don't think anyone probably should be taking them. They have a terrible safety profile. And we have, unfortunately, a CDC and FDA who just the most consistent thing they've done is deny the truth. Whether it was pushing masks, I mean, they did squat. I mean, they did not have any substantial impact, no benefit. Pushing masks, pushing the vaccines in little kids, all these low-value, divisive policies that they did. Meanwhile, here's the truth, right? You look at these studies of the mRNA COVID-19 vaccines. There was a study published a few weeks ago in a journal called Lancet, a journal that's well known, I should say. And what did these authors show? They showed that after 7 months, the protection for infection, right? It started, I don't know, around 70%, down. At 7 months, it hops onto the other side of the axis, right? So it is negative, and that continues, and that the magnitude of that negativity increases over time. What does that mean, folks? It literally means that the people who received that vaccine were more likely to contract COVID-19 after 7 months than the people who did not. That is a fact. Has the CDC or FDA ever said a word about that? No.
Yeah, I can get here to this one. Yeah. C-50, you're in it for you, yeah. Whoa. He's got mango for you. He's got mango. Oh, he just knocked his own man out. He just knocked his own man out, boys. Oh, he knocked his own friend out.
Lavrov, head of the Russian delegation at the talks in Vienna on military security and arms control, said, we warned the Western sponsors of the Kiev military machine from encouraging nuclear provocations and blackmail. We know that the Leopard 2 tank, as well as the Bradley and Marder infantry fighting vehicles, are armed with uranium core, armor-piercing subcaliber shells, the use of which leads to contamination of the area, as happened in Yugoslavia and Iraq. Now remember, this is back in January, where speaking at an arms conference, that Russia said we consider the use of depleted uranium equivalent to dirty nuclear bombs.
2 months later, it's happened.
Yes.
So the landscape has changed. And as Mr. Shogu has said today, we're closer. We're closer to nuclear war.
Steps closer.
Who is pushing for nuclear war? It's the West.
Yes.
They just continue to aggravate the situation. They cannot let go of this war. And they're willing to risk the lives of 1 billion people. Because that's what could happen. 1 to 2 billion people could die.
Right.
When you have Russia, the United States, China, Iran, North Korea, Israel, all shooting, and maybe India and Pakistan, all shooting nuclear warheads off at the same time, you literally could have 2 billion people die. What is the point of all this?
Yes. What is the
point? What are we fighting for?
Yes. We're not fighting for freedom. We're not fighting for the flag. We're not fighting for territory, even.
We're fighting for Zelensky's right to play a piano with a sex organ. Is that what it is? I mean, he's the great leader of Ukraine. He's just a clown. He's a clown, a paid comedian who was like a crisis actor. He's just a crisis actor that they hired for this role.
Right.
And we face a nuclear nightmare for no reason.
Are calling on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to stop a bill proposed by members of his coalition to make it criminal to tell people about Jesus in Israel. Our Jerusalem correspondent Daniel Cohen is live near Tel Aviv with more. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Allison. Good morning, everyone. A big story just before, days before Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and Easter. Sacred time for Christians. 2 ultra-Orthodox members of Prime Minister Netanyahu's coalition have introduced a bill that would punish believers for sharing the gospel of Jesus with prison time. United Torah Judaism Knesset members Moshe Gafni and Yaakov Asher introduced legislation last week making it illegal to share in conversation or produce content online, in print, or by mail. Their explanation of the bill emphasizes a warning to stop Christians.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Far-right Islamophobic Danish politician Rasmus Paludan has said it's going to travel from Denmark to Wakefield for the sole purpose of burning a Quran in a public place. Mr. Paludan was previously jailed in Denmark for his hateful and racist statements. He's a dangerous man that should not be allowed into this country. Can the Home Secretary assure me and my community that the government is taking action to prevent this?
Minister, may I inform the House that Mr. Paludan has been added to the warnings index and therefore his travel to the United Kingdom would not be conducive with the public good and he will not be allowed access.
again, it has to do with weaponry, but I don't believe there has ever been a time like we're in right now. What they've done to our country in 2 years is unthinkable. It's unthinkable. Standing before you today, I am the only candidate who can make this promise. I will prevent World War III, because I really believe you're going to have World War III.